This channel is for educational purposes only. We show you the how to's. This should not be constituted as financial advice. Please contact a professional in that area to let you know what you should do with your money. We are less than 8 days away from a ban on the TikTok platform. It's going to be going away in the United States if the parent company of TikTok, that's ByteDance, does not sell to the U.S. controlled entity or U.S. controlled entity. Um, this is not going to come as a surprise. Um, I personally haven't used that app as much as I used other social media apps, but the ramifications of something that big being banned in the United States is going to cause ripple effects across all of social media. Now, there were several political reasons why the federal government made this move. Um, a lot of the stuff we weren't privy to know as far as consumers of the product or users of the product. There were national security issues raised. There were uh, possible breaches, leaks, hacks that were tied to this application that's come out in open hearing in on this matter. But actually, outside of the political stuff, what else could have led to the demise of this application, this platform in the U.S.? Well, let's take a look at the content. Now, there are a lot of people who've made tons of money in endorsements by getting those TikTok numbers up way high, more so than any Facebook or YouTube account could ever have done. But the biggest strength on TikTok seems to be anybody can just whip out a phone and just talk randomly about anything, and there's really no checks and balances. The type of content that I've seen outside of my cooking videos, where they're very quick, very easy to follow, um, those are helpful. I like those kind of things, the funny little clips. But you now have a situation where social media itself is changing the behavior patterns of certain people, and especially some of these content creators. I think this ban is just foreshadowing of what's to come for all of social media. We've got too many people out here doing some weird stuff for clicks and likes. Not trying to educate people, not trying to uplift people, not trying to, give relevant information. A lot of people are using the platform as a way to push agendas. Ain't nothing wrong there, but there's a problem when you start seeing more triggering information or triggering diatribes online with no system of checks and balances. Your account can and will be flagged here on this platform and on Facebook. But on TikTok, you can go ham. You know, I think the ramifications of what's going to happen with this ban is going to be immediate, swift, and disconcerting. And the question is, what happens next? Where do these users go to have that same interaction that they had on TikTok? Well, you can't come over to Facebook. Zuckerberg and the United States government have kind of locked down a lot of the nonsense that's going on that you see on TikTok. Do you go back to Twitter or X? X has got its own issues right now. Uh, Not going to get into exactly how, but I'm quite sure, particularly in this community, um, it's been falling off for a while. It's been falling off for a while because of the antics of the founder. Now that aside, you've got uh, this platform. It's not one you're going to keep socially active. So what are you really left with? We saw social media platforms come and go. Remember the Vine or Snapchat or what was the other one? MySpace, the original gangster in this whole mess. Um, Black people, Black Planet. I remember that. Remember Black Planet? Hadn't heard that in a while. Google Meet had a brief foray into the social media space, and it didn't really didn't really stick around too long. But some real big names have have come and gone in this industry, but none have ever been banned. And I'm concerned about what happens to all of these content creators when they realize that the gig is up. You know, do they go back to Instagram? Do they go back to Twitter? Who knows? Who knows? What are the costs to those content creators? Some of these creators make tons of money on their TikTok streams. Monetizing, that is a big draw, a big reason why people stay on these phones. Um, it's an interesting situation we find ourselves in. Now, as I've just now crossed over 6,000 subscribers on this channel, I can only imagine somebody who has built up 100,000 subs on TikTok and followers, and the reach that that person has on that platform. Um, yeah, it can be kind of devastating. So, what do you think is going to happen when all of that is gone? Very interesting question. As it stands now, you have to work so hard to protect your, your intellectual property, which is your channel, from every possible threat, from hackers, from people just putting out crazy comments in your comment section of your page. Your Facebook accounts constantly being hacked by third parties pretending to be you, duplicate pages, no two-factor authentication still there. You know, it's going to be jarring. I want to know what you thought or what you think about TikTok being banned in the United States. Are you for it? Against it? I've had a lot of people. I'm a Gen Xer, older guy. I've noticed a lot of the talk, especially the red pill talk, it's kind of triggering. People are literally at their throats. I also know as a teacher, a former teacher, I see a lot of like actual anxiety when you take away a phone from a student. That app and apps like it on that particular device, it's a kind of psychosis they go in. They will crash out if they don't have that access to that device. It's their main means of communication to their friends. What do you think that does when millions of people in the US wake up one day and they can't check their TikTok streams? I'm kind of concerned about that. I'm really concerned about that. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you in a little bit.